Hey everybody, welcome back to The Wrong Fairway.
And that is Dylan's mother, everybody just heard. She will be replacing Dylan on episode 6 of The Wrong Fairway because Dylan currently has the Rona. No. No, you don't.
We're golfing.
No. Dylan's doing great. We're golfing. Welcome back to episode 6 of The Wrong Fairway. You got Patty, Dylan, Josh here. We are ready to talk some golf, but more importantly, talk about most likely not golf in this episode. And the big thing that we have that we're going to touch upon in the second half of this episode is our upcoming golf trip that we all leave for in 2 days. And guys, I am so fucking excited.
My flight's in 30 hours.
Yeah, it is. Whoa.
We have been planning this trip in, I don't want to say like...
I think June, Patty was teasing it. He's like, yo, come out for a golf trip. And we're just like, yeah.
This trip has been hypothetical for the past forever up until 2 weeks ago when we all said, oh, wait, did you book your flights? We're like, oh, wait, we got to get on that. This trip was not going to exist until about 2 weeks ago when we finally got our flights together and made it work. Shout out to Reno because it's going to be quite a time.
I am so excited. But more importantly, because I'm sure nobody wants to hear about our golf trip.
Too bad. You're going to hear about it later.
Hear about it after our seamless transition into the turn. Josh, how were your last 2 weeks of golf, buddy?
They were pretty solid. My buddy actually just got a membership. Timmy, who's the best golfer in my friends
Timmy.
He just got a membership to a pretty solid country club near our house. And he was like, yo, you can come. Just put everything on my tab. I get billed at the end of the month. I'll bill you guys then. So we're like, cool. And we got like free range time, a free chipping, as well as like a putting green, practice coming out of sand, like the works coming in. Like they were offered to carry our bags to our cart. I'm like, no, I'm going to carry my bag to the golf cart. Did have some
with all the beer in it.
With all the beer in it. They like could clean your clubs at the end if you wanted to, but again, I was like, don't really need this. Not golfing again with these clubs for 3-4 weeks. Overall, the round was pretty fair. A lot of good, a lot of bad, and it was just kind of a very inconsistent. I think I had 5 blow-up holes in total.
Okay.
But the rest of them were pretty much, I was bogeying, 3-putting for double bogey. So definitely playing the golf I wanted to. Just have to avoid those blow-up holes.
Yeah.
Do you think you were doing your blow-up holes because you were with the boys and you were a little distracted, or you think it was just an overall unfocus or just bad play?
I would 10 and 11 were definitely because I was with the boys. I was rounding the turn and I had finished my front 9, 4 beers. And one of them I was in the water. Well, I guess I'll do bad shot now. Just so everybody knows. From the tee.
Hey Josh, what was your good shot, bad shot?
This blow up hole was a par 5, so it really got me up quick. Drove the ball just absolute top, like a top, rotated my wrist and it just splashed right into the water. So I was like, drop from the fairway for 4 or re-tee off for 3. So I'm like, I'm gonna re-tee off, and then absolute just like cleared it into the forest on the right, like opposite side. So we're already looking at like a 5, and then I probably ended up like 4-putting that hole anyway, but we just capped it at a 10 because I don't think you really want to write a 13 down on a scorecard. Whole blow up hole just was nonsense. But to answer your question,
I hope this go.
Sorry, to answer your question, blow up holes. A lot of various reasons. A couple of them bad play, but 2 or 3 of them were just like compounding errors.
Yeah, I actually got to play. You mentioned playing at like a really nice country club, so I got to play at Potomac Shores out in Virginia. And I know we have a good amount of Virginia listeners, so I don't know, go check it out, tweet us about it. But it is like the nicest place that I have ever been into in my entire life, like golf or not. It was just absolutely gorgeous. And we show up We park the car, and these people come in a golf cart, and they pick us up with our golf bags, take us to the clubhouse, take our golf bags to the driving range. We like get all set up, and then we go to the driving range where they just have like balls in bags for us on a grass driving range with like a bunch of free tees and stuff. And it was just the driving range looked like the nicest fairway you've ever seen, with like bunkers out there, like perfectly manicured. It was ridiculous. And I'm golfing with Laura, my girlfriend's dad, and her brother. And guys, it might have been the worst I've ever golfed.
You nervous, bro?
So I was playing with not my clubs. I had just flown the night before, and a little bit, but like I mean, the course itself was hard, and I could not hit a shot straight for the life of me. And like, luckily, none of us golfed all that well. So, like, it wasn't just me sucking, but I think I lost more balls than I played holes, for sure. But this course was just so pretty.
Did you get a chance to go to the bathroom in the clubhouse?
I did not. Actually, I did not.
The bathroom in there, oh my, they had, like, every cosmetic you could want, like, shaving cream, like, mouthwash, colognes, everything. Just, like, in the bathroom. And they had, like, 4 TVs in the locker room. And I was just like...
It's like a true clubhouse.
Like, it was a true clubhouse. I was like, this place
Yeah.
is like unreal, like top shape. Shame they were aerating the greens that week, that day, because that like kind of ruined my putting, just because that definitely affects your putting. And it annoys me.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Very much annoys me.
And especially like your confidence too. But yeah, my good shots though. The one really good takeaway for me that I actually texted you guys about in our little group chat with Coop. So the front 9, I think I was like 28 over on the front 9. So I was feeling pretty awful. Again, one of the worst rounds of my life. And I go, like, F it. I'm just going to start hitting driver again. Like, I'm not doing good with the 3-wood off the tee, whatever. And like, once I started hitting driver, I hit every single fairway that I used the driver with. It was just pretty much like almost just dead straight. I wasn't going that far. It was like 250, 260-ish. I wasn't swinging that hard, but I was just like, I'm going to hit it straight and just see how it goes. And it felt so good. And I was like, oh, you guys are in trouble for Tahoe. The driver's back. But no, I went to the driving range today, and the driver is actually not back at all. No, I didn't. I was thinking about it. I went to Golf Galaxy, but I want to get fitted and like take my time when I buy a driver. I don't want to get rushed. But yeah,
I'm a little disappointed because I really wanted you to get that so that I could play with it this weekend a little bit off the tee. Hopefully hit some bombs.
No, you can use my irons. My irons are nice. The Big Bertha driver out there is calling my name, but I just can't shell out $500 for a driver. That's ridiculous.
Dude, I want to get a driver so freaking bad, except we're coming up to the end of the season, and I'm not trying to spend some Skrilla on something that I can use like maybe in 2 weeks.
I love that term. I heard it, and I really wanted to comment. I love Skrilla as a term for spending money on golf.
Yeah, you know what? Side note: we're taking this away from a golf podcast for the next 10 seconds. For me to say we're a pop culture podcast, and the word Skrilla is hip.
Yeah,
it's hip.
If our viewers can, if you're listening to this, all 10 of our listeners, shout out to our guy
Frank,
yeah,
Frank tweeting at us.
Frank, if you want to tweet
Skrilla.
us and say hashtag Skrilla, that could be our hashtag for the podcast because, you know what, I don't care what Patty says. I think Skrilla is a good word.
I think I just baby barfed a little bit.
Hashtag baby barf, hashtag Skrilla, hashtag we're in the wrong fairway. Anyway, I want to spend like a lot of money, some Skrilla, if you will, on a driver. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it right now at the end of the season, where I'm only going to have maybe, like, it's getting dark. I can't even get off work and then go to the driving range because by the time I get off work and go to the driving range, I can't even see my ball 250 yards out because it's so tiny and so dark out. So, like, I can't be spending money on a driver right now to be not using it. So that's definitely going to have to be a purchase I have to wait on until next season, which is very unfortunate.
That's like interesting because I think almost the exact opposite. I want to get it, and I think Josh, you mentioned something similar about getting your irons. I want to get it at the end of a season so I can spend the winter just like getting comfortable with my new driver swing. because I definitely need like a ton of work on my driver, so I'm gonna like work to kind of fix that with the new driver. Is my mentality there?
Hold
so
on,
kind of
but
the opposite.
you don't have a winter.
That's fair.
Like, you don't have.
Yeah.
You have like maybe
okay.
mini fall. You have fall 2.0.
I'm not gonna play nearly as much though. So like I do have an off season. It's not as much of an off season, but fair. I want to buy it in the off season when I'm not golfing twice a week. Go ahead, Josh.
I'm similar to that. My thinking was I was gonna buy it at the beginning of the next season. So like around like March, late February, early March, go get fitted.
When the snow starts to clear.
When the snow starts to get fitted.
What's snow?
And then
I hate you so much.
Get fitted and then get a lesson. Get maybe like 1 or 2 lessons because I'm going to forget a lot of the stuff that I really was doing well at the end of the season. So at the beginning of next season, I feel like that's the time to really tweak my wrist, really get into those good habits for the next season. So that was kind of my thinking on that because it's so tough to change your stuff and then you're like, you play poorly because you're changing it, and then you go back because you're actually playing well, and you just get into this rut, and then you get mad, and then you start throwing golf balls into the forest because you miss a 4-foot putt, and then your just whole round goes to waste, and then you absolutely hit a 300-yard drive, and then make a putt on 18, and you're like, this is why I play the game.
I am
it's all
so
hypothetical, of course, right?
I am so excited to see you rage again on the golf course. I miss that.
Dude, I know.
Oh, and just staring at Dylan awkwardly when we don't say anything.
Me and Patty give each other the Jim from The Office look. We're like, who wants to say it? You want to say it? Nope. Okay. By the way,
who wants to say? Are we counting all the mullies?
I haven't taken a mulligan in forever, and I'm really happy about it. My score's gone down, but score's gone up, but
yeah, I was gonna say.
For our viewers at home, I know we're going to get into we'll get into the golf trip later in the episode, but Josh has decided to, I think, how many holes are we going to play? 54 this weekend?
18, 9, so 45?
45, possibly 54 depending on the sunset.
Yeah.
So most likely 45. Just the way the tee times are set up, it's going to be tough.
Okay. So nothing crazy for like a huge golf trip because I know some people play 36 on Saturday, 36 Sunday, and go home and stuff. But Josh has decided for 45 holes of golf, he's going to bring 5 golf balls.
7? 9?
7. Bingo.
7. Buddy.
So Josh is going to bring 7 golf balls and attempt to, I think verbatim, I think your phrasing was scavenge the rest.
Yeah.
I love it.
We'll keep you updated in the next episode on whether or not he can accomplish that because both me, Patty, and our buddy Cooper have told him explicitly we're not lending you any golf balls if you run out of your 7 on the
4
first
orange
day.
balls and 3 yellow balls, all colored. I figured that's all the colored balls I had in my bag. They're actually pretty clean. I mean, I did.
And I have 2 blue balls.
So, oh my God,
come on.
Is your mother still sitting right next to you, Dylan?
Yes, she is.
Oh, you're the worst. Yeah, we're just gonna move on from that.
This is why his mother's in the podcast, not him.
Mom,
we upgraded.
Here, just say, damn kids.
Damn kids.
Damn kids. But so Josh, because you sent a snap of your bags and stuff today. Are you checking a bag?
I'm not.
Oh, okay. I thought you were checking a bag, and I was gonna say, dude, just bring more golf balls if you're checking. A bag.
I'm staying at my sister's place because she's close to the airport, and then B on the way back. I can quarantine for 2 to 3 days, just
away from your parents,
away from my parents, just so I can test negative.
Smart. Smart.
I think
we didn't really touch on you, Dill. Your last 2 weeks.
Yeah. So my last 2 weeks have been actually quite good. This started off about 2 weeks ago. I played around here in Illinois.
Wait, your 2 weeks started about 2 weeks ago? No way.
No. Mine started last week.
Mine started like 4 weeks ago. That's crazy, bro.
This will be my last episode of the podcast for all our viewers.
It's the third time you've said that.
So about 2 weeks ago, since our last episode, I've had a pretty good last 2 weeks. I don't care what you think about my phrasing, but
Boom,
it
phrasing.
started off with a pretty good 18. I had blow up holes. I probably had 3 blow up holes in the first 5 holes, which sucked because I'd gone to the range earlier that morning at my lunch hour for work, and nothing was really working for me. I was chunking everything, or I was topping everything. I just couldn't get a flush ball, so I was really hating that round for the first few holes.
Mm-hmm.
And then at hole 6, I just decided, okay, I guess I'm gonna pop off, and I ended up having 5 pars in a row, which really, really felt good. The rest of the match ended up not being amazing. I had double bogeys, but I ended up having 9 pars in the whole round that time, and just continued that for the next 2 weeks. I never had, a good shot, bad shot. There was never any good shot, bad shot that stuck out in my mind. But all I'll say is, I guess, good shots for me this week were my driver has been pretty good. If our viewers remember, I wasn't really touching my driver for a while. It was pretty much just my 3-wood because I was more consistent. But now, I'm picking up my driver out of the bag and I'm hitting it a lot better than 3-wood. Feeling really good with it. So those are my good shots, and my bad shots on the same hole. It's hole 11 at Countryside. The same. It's a pretty decent course I play, especially with a twilight deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 10 yards downhill from in the middle of the fairway. So the green is about 10 yards down from the fairway. And I have clubbed down each of the times that I have been playing this hole thinking, okay, I'm going to, I don't want to overshoot it. And each time I still overshoot it. So I those are my 2 bad shots. I end up off the back of the green, and I have to do a lot of work with my lob wedge just to get somewhere near even a bogey. But those are my good shot, bad shot. Good last 2 weeks, and I'm ready to take you guys on in Reno.
Yeah, so you mentioned you said the phrase "pop off." So
And for real quick, I'm sorry. For the people that can't see us, Dylan says "pop off," and Josh just mutes himself, stands up, throws off his headphones, is laughing, like bent over laughing, and just takes off his sweatshirt and shirt, and is just cackling.
So it got I started laughing. I had to cough, so that's why I muted it. And then all of a sudden, I just get super hot. I just come back after taking my headphones off, and all I hear Dylan say is just "pop off," and that just throws me into a fit. But
anywho,
yeah.
Let's
said
move
pop
into
off. I said pop off. Get at me, viewers.
Pop off, Skrilla.
Skrilla I can tolerate. Pop off, meh.
Skrilla I can tolerate.
But then you go, yeah, it's hip. Ugh.
Patty,
you're the old man of the group, so
I am. I'm the grandpa. I'm the dad of the group.
Patty, what was your good shot like?
So
hashtag seamless transition.
You're
we're back,
26, baby. Front 9. You really popped off there.
I popped off. No, so my good shot was figuring out the driver on the back 9, which one of those holes, it was a 400-yard par 4, like a dogleg right, and I just drove it over the dogleg and had 80 yards in, and it was just amazing. But no, my bad shot, which I didn't mention, I would say is probably 85 to 90% of my shots that round, I would say, could qualify for the bad shot. It was, oh, cool, I hit it 40 yards on the ground forward. At least I'm in the right direction. I walk up to it with the same 5-iron and just keep doing that. It was a rough round for me. Josh, your good shot?
Yeah, so we were playing for some money, and I'll bring that up a little bit later. But it was Timmy, who's the best at all of us, and one of his friends from school who was subpar, subpar. And it was me and Bren, and we were pretty good. We had won the front 9, so that was money. And then all of a sudden, we're on the back 9, and they just start stringing holes together. The guys behind us kind of started hitting into us, which was, we were very mad at them. We couldn't go anywhere. There were 4 guys in front of us, 4 guys in front of them. They were a triple. So they were getting held up even more. And we're on 18, and one guy goes to the wrong. Brendan drives into the wrong fairway, and I need like a really good drive.
He said the name.
And like Timmy hits a tree, so everyone's like down shots, and I got about a downhill left to right putt, like super downhill, super tough green to read. And I kind of look at it, I'm like, okay, 2 cups left. There's like 4 adults watching us because they finished, including my friend's dad. And I just kind of like tap it like to the left, basically 45 degrees past the hole. It just goes and goes down. I make it, and that was a $10 putt for your boy.
Ooh-wee.
So that was just
Heck yeah.
read the green, hit it right, the slope, everything. It was a truly magnificent putt, and kind of flipped off the guys behind us a little bit just because like we spent way too long on this green and like lining up. Like the douche factor really came out. I was lining it up, really taking it out. But all in all, just a great last putt, which was really exciting because that's kind of driving my putting game into this week.
Speaking of the douche factor, the that string of 5 pars in a row, and I ended up having 9 in the round. Like I said, I implemented the douche factor like nobody's business that round. This is about 2 weeks ago, and it was mostly because like I don't want to say I was forced into it, but the group in front of me was playing super slow, so I had a lot of time to like read the greens. Mm-hmm. I could walk and I could look behind my ball. I could look in front of my ball from where near the pin. I could look at the sides, just because I knew if I finished the hole out, then I would be like just waiting for the guys to tee off in the next hole anyway. So I really like implemented the douche factor a lot that round, and it paid off a lot. So I'm a little happy that the thing, the douche factor, like I talked about, just taking your time. And I know it's not really that douchey to take your time and look at your putts, but if there's people behind you, you don't want to do that. Yeah. But like in a situation where there are people in front of me, I can't go, so I'm going to take my time and really look at this ball.
Yeah.
I was able to string together 5 pars in a row, and that really helped my score that round. So, the douche factor is real, people. So if you're listening and you want to implement the douche factor, take your time.
But quick disclaimer. Only if you're not playing in front of one of us. That will be a serious problem.
Yeah, don't get teed off in you.
Yeah. Anyway, do you guys smell that?
It smells like smells like a hot dog to me.
Is that a hot? Ooh, it's hot. Is that a?
Smells like one of those where you call on like hole 8 and get it ordered like a hole before, so they deliver it on 9.
Like a gourmet hot
or
dog.
Like an
it's
Italian
ready.
sausage,
it's out.
like onion and pepper Italian sausage.
Little bratwurst action, little caramelized onions on top.
But it
anyway,
does.
I think
the podcast. I need a hot dog.
we rounded the turn.
we did it. Another hashtag seamless transition from your boys
Getting
over here at the wrong Fairway. So I think this episode's gonna drop on. I'm just gonna talk through that one. This episode's gonna drop on Halloween, and in the spirit of Halloween, I got a question for you fellas. What is the scariest thing a golfer can see on the golf course? And this could be something you've seen or just something that you can like think of.
So right off the top of my head, the scariest thing that I can see is a par 3 where the pin position is right on like on a two, let's say a 2-pronged ridge, right? So let's say it's kind of, like a pretty L-shaped green, with the right side of it being a little over the water or something like that. And it basically is an bowl. So it goes down on the 2 sides of the L. What's scary to me is if they put that pin right at the corner of the L so that you have to get it
you have no
right,
shot.
You have no shot to get it there. Especially even if you get it, so your shot's on the green in either side of that L, the shot that the chances of you being able to make your second or your first putt, your second shot, and get it anywhere within 3 feet, especially with all of that slope, that's dangerous. And that's honestly something really, really scary to me. Even more scary than a long par 5.
Yeah, and anytime a flag's on a ridge.
Yeah, so I kind of, if we're talking like that's really scary, I'm one of those people that loves haunted houses because I love those. I welcome those. Like,
Okay.
I get excited by the challenge, like
Yeah.
trying to make that putt. For me, there's two scary things. One, because it happened, is when a ball comes directly at you from your dad hitting it. Because your dad just absolutely shank it and you just duck and this ball just goes a foot over your head. That's pretty scary.
I'm sorry, Ian.
Number two, but just in my opinion, the scariest thing to see on the golf course is two 80-year-old women with pull carts. Because
right in front of you.
That is like terrifying. That's like people who are afraid of clowns. Like that is just there's no good
with the umbrellas. The umbrellas are strapped to the golf crowd.
About 20 practice swings every time.
Yeah, and the ball goes 10 feet in front of them, and then they walk up and do it. And meanwhile, here
and they hit driver.
And it's like a par four, like for them, like par four, like 290 for us, and like maybe like a par five, 270 for them. And you're just like, well, I'm gonna drive to the green, so I gotta wait a full 20 minutes just for them to leave. And then the ball like rolls up on them, and you feel like a bad person for doing that. But you're like, well, I shanked to the right, and you guys were just so slow. That's scary, in my opinion.
I wanna paint you guys a picture here because this has happened to me, and I think this is the scariest thing to see in golf. You're on this first tee box. You're ready. You're by yourself. There's nobody in front of you. It's a nice clear day. Maybe you're first out. Maybe it's just a slow day at the golf course, right? You're feeling good. You hit the range before. You're all warmed up. You're feeling good. You're ready to go. And you get it on that first tee box, and you put your ball on the ground with the tee. You pull out your driver, or in my case, a 3-wood. And you're getting ready. You take your practice swing, and you look over to the parking lot. And here come in just a family of 3 ready to join you for your tee time.
Mom, Dad, son.
Oh, hey, are you the 3 p.m. tea time? And you go, yup.
Like, nope, I'm 250, and you book it.
You say yes like a complete moron. And it doesn't matter. They were honestly so sweet. Doesn't matter how sweet they are. Doesn't matter if they're good. You were that close to golfing by yourself with nobody in front of you. And now you're stuck. And that was spooky. Still get nightmares.
Yeah, that's tough. And I feel like the scary thing there is because it's on you. Because you said yes.
Yeah, no, you could have lied. You could have gone a little quicker at the range. You could have taken 2 less practice swings. It's on you, and you screwed it.
Yeah.
You screwed the pooch.
That's tough.
Oh, that one hurt.
You know what's a scary thing, too, is you hit your ball. You know it's in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Your green side bunker, but you don't know how bad it is. So you're walking up thinking, okay, I'm going to, I'll have to get it up. I'll have to get it down. I'll probably have to putt at least twice. Then you get there. It is absolutely plugged right in the lip of the sand. And you're like, no. That is one of the scariest things I think I have ever seen on the course as well.
That's funny too, because again, I enjoy the challenge of trying to like make that shot. Like I'm not gonna hit a good shot out of it at all, but like for me to practice that and be in that situation, I think I welcome that. Which is
it's definitely it's definitely nice. Like I love it.
It's a shot you're not gonna practice that shot. So the fact that you have it, it's like, oh cool. Like I can get something out of this opportunity.
No, I think bunker shots are more fun for me than hitting out of like tough rough. Yeah. I think bunkers are just like in general, like I think it's a fun shot. I'm not great at it, but like it's a good time.
Yeah. I watched a video this week, it's a YouTube video, I forget who it was by, but they basically said, the difference between someone who shoots in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s is partly confidence, but when you go up and you're on the tee or you're looking at greenside bunkers, it's like people that shoot in the 90s, they look out at that green, they're like, oh God, there's 2 bunkers right next to it. Like, I'm screwed. People that shoot in the 70s, they don't even see the hazards. They don't see the hazards at all. And if you just happen to get in the hazard, yeah, that sucks, but you'll be able to get out of it. And I think that's a really interesting mentality. But
it's a mental game, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. One thing I want to talk about this week, though, kind of pivoting away, is 2020. I guess that's the best way I can summarize that in a sentence. Everybody
That's
who's
a big
listening,
sentence.
it is a big sentence, but the one thing I wanted to ask, because I know we mostly deal with golf, but this kind of can apply to every sport that's been affected by the coronavirus in 2020, and that is, do you think that major championships in golf, or whether it be the World Series, the Stanley Cup, the NBA Finals, do you think those mean more to have won this year in 2020, or do you think that they're more of a blow-off? Because personally, I think you look on the 2020 season, and for every sport in the major four, in the United States at least, so that's NHL, the MLB, the NBA, and football, of every sport except football, their season got cut drastically short, or they had to amend it somehow. And I think that you're looking back, you say, "Oh, I won the World Series." Oh, well, what year? Oh, 2020? Yeah, like, okay, I want to hear your guys' opinions.
Yeah, I think that no matter what, there's going to be an asterisk next to any championship won this year in any sport, golf, Big Four, you name it, right? Like, there's going to be an asterisk. I think depending on the sport, it's almost more impressive. If not more impressive, equally as impressive, right? Like, I think the NBA did a great job. I think that the Lakers winning this year is, spoilers, if you're listening to this in 2 months and you don't know, you got to figure it out. But like the Lakers winning, like, I thought that was a very legitimate championship, right? Like, I thought the playoffs were as normal as they could have been. The teams that belong in the playoffs were in the playoffs. But like baseball, kind of like you mentioned, that's a 160 something game season. That's now 90. That's a huge cut. And baseball especially is like it's much more a marathon than any other sport, I think.
Yep.
And so that one especially, I think, is the biggest asterisk to me, whereas the NBA is the smallest, and football is still kind of going on right now. It's tough to tell, but with all these games getting canceled and moved, man, who knows how they're going to figure it out,
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting question. As someone who is, a fan of the big the Big Four, I more so will watch tennis, will watch golf, will watch soccer on television. So for other viewers, maybe possibly internationally, I know we have a few in Australia. Shout out.
A couple in England now too. I can't believe it.
Shout out to you guys.
Are you guys sure? Are you guys sure?
But those, they had the break, and the Bundesliga was back. It only had about a month and a half off. And the Champions League was done a little bit differently this year. So when Bayern won that, there's going to be an asterisk there, but they were by far the best team in the Champions League. So I don't think it matters. Tennis, being a single sport, I don't really think that had a factor to it. But I think whenever there's a shortened season, there's definitely asterisks next to it, Patty, as you mentioned. And I think it'll go down as an interesting year in the books.
I think it'll be one of those years like that you'll be proud to have won in 2020, but looking back upon past years where people have won through full seasons, it won't be. I don't think it'll be as much of like I won this. Maybe individual titles it'll definitely carry as much weight, but I think compared to a lot of the team titles and stuff like that, it really won't be as recognizable. I think it'll be like more of a symbolic victory rather than something else. And just taking it back to golf too, like Rory McIlroy, he was the best of the best before the COVID break, and when he came back from COVID, he wasn't shooting nearly as well. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking of too. It's like, if you kind of take the year as a whole and you say, all right, what if we didn't have the COVID break? What if Rory came out and won all 4 majors?
Yeah.
Who knows?
So I definitely agree. Like, I think you guys are both definitely right, and the asterisk is definitely a thing. But then it also, there comes the question, well, why didn't the other teams win it? Why didn't other people win it? Right? You still were the best. Everybody had to undergo all the same crap that you did. Certain teams missed more games due to COVID than others. I mean, certain teams have more injuries than others, right? It's all, I think it's still a legitimate championship in a lot of ways, but yeah, like agreed, it's definitely an asterisk. Josh, I think your question was left, right?
Yes. So, as mentioned earlier, we do have our golf trip, and being that we are in Nevada, there will be some gambling going on amongst us. And one of the questions I had between us, I mentioned my putt for $10 is how much and where in the game are you willing to spend the most money on these kind of posh bets, putting, drives, whatever, where.
So I definitely want to do the snake. I think we absolutely have to do snake putting. I think that's just an absolute blast. And then, I mean, one thing that we would do is the $5 per par three, who closest to the pin. I think that's like the easiest and my favorite. It's going to be tough for me to want to do round long bets, at least right now, because all of us are so streaky that it's so easy for any one of us to have just a horrendous round,
Yep, I agree. I was gonna say I think the place where I'm willing to lose the most or gain the most money is par threes. Yeah, I think you're looking right at the green right there. It's 170 yards away. If you can put it on the green closest to the pin, I think you deserve $10.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And like even closest to the pin, and like there's only 4 on average par threes per 18. Like that's doable. It's not a ton of money. It's money, but it's not like a ton. And yeah, we're all working right now, but I don't want to lose a paycheck.
Yeah. It's funny. Some of the outings I went to, they had longest drive, they had straightest drive, which was interesting because you had to be a certain distance. So a lot of people on that hole were just hitting irons because they can hit that generally straighter. And I think I for one would like to kind of maybe do some of those if we find a nice long straight par 5 maybe like a couple bunkers is implement some of those, or straightest drive, longest made putt kind of thing. I know that's kind of tough to track without a string, but bring some yarn, let's do it.
Yeah,
I'll play for that, man. I think we put $20 on longest drive and longest putt over the weekend. I'm game for that.
That's going to be so tough to track over the weekend, though. I think we'd have to do that as a hole by hole basis,
or like a round by round. Like if we're doing snake one day, maybe the next day we do kind of some of these more posh shots, like best sand shot or something like that. If somebody chips in, that's immediate $5 payout kind of thing. I think we can easily get into some of that.
Speaking of, if anybody on Twitter has any good golf gambling games, tweet at us, let us know, because like we said, I guess by the time this episode
we leave in 2 days.
We'll get if you guys didn't see our tweet from 2 weeks ago, we reached out asking for some games, and we really enjoyed a lot of your ideas. Yeah. So thanks so much for doing that.
Just in general, thank everybody who's been tweeting at us and engaging with our tweets. It's so much fun for us. We're literally just 3 guys working, and it is so much fun to see the little notification so a random person that we have never met, we never thought this would happen, liked our tweet or is tweeting at us. It is just the coolest thing ever. And just thank y'all. It's just been a blast so far.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to DM us, comment on
we've got
some
a couple,
YouTubes. If you guys want, or just say hey, I really liked your conversation on why Dylan should be using tees on par 3s, or why Josh should always be wearing shoes wherever he goes. Just feel free to comment on some of those.
Especially the subway.
It was one time.
One time not wearing shoes on the New York City subway is one time too many, buddy.
That was one of my favorite days of the year.
That was it.
Oh, man.
Anywho, we can reminisce this weekend, but so what are some of the things that guys are excited for? What's the favorite? What are you looking forward to most?
I am so goddamn excited to outdrive Josh. Just so excited. I cannot wait.
Is that on a straight drive? Is that me driving straight, or if I hook one right?
I think it has to be in the fairway. Yeah, you can hit the ball farther than me, but I don't think you can hit it farther than me straight.
Okay.
So, Patty, I'll be completely honest too. I've been finding my drive lately, and knock on wood, let's hope I can keep finding it so that I don't have to eat my words next episode. But I'm extremely excited for one of us to, because the big thing is going to be which one of the three of us or four of us is going to be stepping up to the tee first.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I don't know if
we're spinning the tee.
It'll be spinning the tee for the first one, and then it's like a hole by like whoever got the best score on the previous hole, and then
Should definitely be going first. Like the last three,
yeah.
like if all of a sudden I'm just like I'm gonna put the ball down, like hey I'm going next. I'm gonna put the ball down and kind of grip it and rip it, sort of thing. Because I do that from time to time. Where I'm like, nah, I want to wait. I want to wait. I'm talking to Coop about Yingling or whatever.
Like like you're saying, who's going to be the guy this trip, right? I think that's kind of what you're getting at.
Exactly, and I think like there's like everybody knows in golf, there's three areas to be the guy at, like putting, approach shots, and off the tee. Except I think off the tee is where you get that most visibility.
That's
maybe
the flex.
that
and recovery
exactly.
and recovery shots. I think you could add a fourth into there for recovery shots.
Recovery shots. Well, yeah, I guess approach and recovery shots are kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
at least in my mind, but maybe 3.5 areas. But I think off the tee, that's the area you get the most visibility. And if you bomb one 290 yards and you got a freaking lob wedge into the green, great job.
Yeah.
And I think that's like it makes you just makes you proud.
Honestly, I'm thinking about this now. That first spin of the tee on the first hole on Thursday is going to be so big just to see who's driving the ball first. That's going to set the entire
I'm so excited,
weekend.
guys. Oh, it's going to be such a blast.
I'm so excited to golf with you guys. Just golfing with someone who is at the relative same skill level as me.
Yeah, exactly.
Who I'm buddies with and I can talk shit with on the course. Like if Josh goes up and he's feeling himself and he bombs one around and over a tree like he did at Preakness Valley, I'm not even going to be mad. Like, even though I'm trying to beat Josh in like every way and form, if he bombs one over the tree, I'm just going to look back and be like, how the heck did you even do that? And then, of course, like I tried to do at Preakness Valley, I will try to emulate that and do the exact same thing, and I'll fail, and Josh will feel really, really good about himself.
And then I'll pull out my 7-iron and be on the green in 2. It'll be great. No, but yeah, like I am so like I'm excited to root for the people I'm playing with. Like, I mean, I do that actually a ton. I don't know what I'm saying, but like, I don't know, like it's just so much fun to get out there talking trash. Like I've been lucky. I've been able to play with Coop and Ian a bunch, so I get that. I think a little bit more than you, especially though. Josh, you play with Timmy and your boys.
Yeah, we play enough, and my family too.
Yeah, but just like it's just a different vibe. We all know what level of shit talking is okay, I think. And like we all like still lift each other up while not rooting against each other, but like kind of poking at each other a little bit,
and especially
which I like. I miss that,
and especially too with one of our goals from episode 1 was, we want to be getting better. It's a way for us to talk. We're able to now golf with each other, and it's seeing how much Dylan has got better since I golfed with him in July, and since the last time I actually saw you in person was when we were driving.
Yeah, last time
me and you saw each other in person.
Yeah, last time us three were together was golfing in March.
Yeah, so
right, it was that one round when COVID was kind of a thing, but kind of not. I was getting ready to go home from school.
We were going to spring break,
and we're like,
yeah,
you guys were getting ready to go to spring break, and we're like, guys, like, let's try to sneak in around before we got to go because we didn't know when we were going to see each other again. And here we are 8 months later.
Yeah.
And we said, I think, oh, Patty, this might be the last time we see it. And we dropped you off at your apartment. We're like, this is the last time I'm going to see you for a while,
I wasn't even there.
Yeah.
I wasn't even there. So just being able...
Yeah, we dropped you off earlier.
Yeah. So just being able to golf and, like, promote, like, good golf is going to be awesome. Like, I have no problem if... I shoot a 94 and Patty shoots a 93 and Coop shoots a 92 and Dylan shoots a 104. like that's gonna make me so happy.
Screw you, Dylan.
That's gonna make my absolute weekend. It's just like
Yeah.
being good, making good shots, having me hit a
Mm-hmm.
15-foot putt, and then Patty hitting a 16-foot putt is gonna be awesome. So I think that's just gonna be super super fun to see.
Yeah, like I mean, we've said it a couple times before. Like, it only takes one good shot or one good hole around to like make that round fun, to have a quote unquote good round. And I think like as long as everybody has that one good hole around, I think it's just going to be an awesome trip.
Mm-hmm.
Even if that doesn't happen, because that's totally possible, I do genuinely think that everybody just getting one good hole around is just going to make this trip so much fun. And we're all going to be rooting for everybody to have that one birdie around, that one really good par save around. It's just, I'm so excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be such a interesting dynamic, like, having us, because I think there's a healthy competition between the three of us on who's the best.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just like absolutely
That's
normal.
just us.
And
Yeah, that's just
it's
us.
normal and expected, especially people who are trying to have a podcast, like on trying to get better at golf. It's like the whole reason we're doing this is trying to get better. And if you can get better more than the other guys, then great. But I think it's going to be such an interesting and fun dynamic, having all of us trying to be the best, but then also all of us appreciating the super, super good shots that we can all like have this weekend, and say like, you know what, like the fact that you got a par on that hole was awesome, especially considering there was, I got double bogey and there was no shot I was even close. It's just
like,
going to be an appreciation.
Especially too, I think the last time we golfed together in March, like I was looking at some of my old scores from back in the day, and I think we can agree we're all about the same level when we were golfing all the time together. Like I was shooting like low 110s, like 112, 113, 114 pretty consistently. And now if I shoot that, I'm livid with myself. I think that's a terrible round. I think you guys are the same way. Like I'm so excited to see like, oh damn, like Josh got better. Oh damn, like Dylan, oh okay, this is shit. Okay, let's go. This is so cool. Like I'm excited to see how much better we all got. And to show off a little bit.
Yep. And that's why I'm so excited to put money on it too. I think because sorry for coughing, everybody. I think like one thing is texting the boys and talking on the podcast like, oh, I shot this much, but like another thing is put your money where your mouth is and saying, I am gonna beat you guys and I'm gonna have some cash to show for it at the end of the weekend.
Yeah. Some Venmo credits.
We'll just start a Splitwise just for golf. two different ones.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm also excited to like you guys haven't golfed with Coop since when, right? It's been ages, hasn't it?
Probably May 2019.
Yeah, like Coop's gotten a lot better too. Like I'm just excited, just for all of us to golf together again, because have the four of us ever golfed together? I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, like I think that's just going to be such a blast, and like, so I think to the listeners, we are probably going to record an episode up in Little Tahoe, and we're probably going to have Coop on it.
Lake
and
Tahoe.
I'm super
Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe. And
I didn't understand what you said, so chances are our listeners didn't, because I know where I'm going.
And I'm just excited to have Coop on an episode. Switch things up a little bit. Have a little guest speaker. It'll probably be my microphone sitting on a table with the four of us with big old glasses of whiskey sitting around it, just talking shit to each other. And I think it is going to make for awesome content. If it doesn't, screw y'all. I don't care. I gotta hang out with my boys.
I think we gotta have Coop. I think we gotta have Coop do like a really brutal, like good shot, kind of bad shot deal, where he looks at all three of us and he's like, "You're pretty good at this." Actually, that's not even important. No, we just have Coop do the bad stuff. We just have Coop
roast us. We just have Coop roast us for a little bit.
We need to have Coop do 10 minutes of just roasting us and say, Dylan, you can't get off the tee worth crap. Or Josh, like, I don't know how the hell you even use your pitching wedge still. like that would be absolutely brilliant. And I think from an outside perspective, it would be super fun as well.
Yeah.
So I might have said this before, but The Legend of Bagger Vance is a great movie starring Matt Damon and Will Smith, and one of the main lines in the movie, you don't play to win. You don't play golf to win. You play golf to play. And I think this weekend is going to be a great example of that.
Yeah.
But also, just because we're with each other, golf is a social sport. If you don't want a social sport, we would just run with each other, because then we would just run. But nobody wants to just run. Everybody wants to golf. So
I never want to run. Ever.
So
never, ever.
So being able to just kind of be out there, I think is huge, and it's going to be a great time, and I'm excited to let everybody know how it goes from my perspective at the end.
Yeah.
I'll be doing a little self-recorded episode that I'll probably throw on YouTube with my thoughts from the trip, just a nice little self-podcast.
I think we definitely do a little self-reflection, and we can milk like 3-4 episodes out of this trip, guys. I'm telling you, we record one like up there maybe Friday or Saturday, maybe Friday night, because we have an earlier tea time, and then we record one right after the trip, and then we do our inner like reflections as like a bonus episode of each of us just talking for like 10 minutes about it. And then we do a big recap with Coop at the very end where he just talks shit about us. I think that'd be so much fun.
Well, I feel like him talking shit about us would be the recap for him from his perspective.
Yeah, true. You're right.
Plus, I think all us, we're pretty modest when it comes to the podcast. We say like what it is and what it isn't to our viewers, but I think our viewers are gonna want to really hear where we struggle.
Oh yeah.
I think
and are good at and excel. We have some
Yeah.
really positive listeners who are very nice to us on Twitter.
Our Twitter supporters, all 4 of you guys who have talked to us, like
You guys
are
are
the
so
freaking
nice.
best.
You're so nice.
Absolutely.
We don't deserve you.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we take it to our bullet points or whatever we're gonna do, my last question is: what do you guys think our snake total is gonna be by the end of this weekend?
So snake is the game that we play putting, where anytime somebody 3-putts, they become the snake, and the pot increases by $1. And we're gonna play that over all 45 holes this weekend. So whoever 3-putts last, so whoever's the snake at the end of 45 holes, pays out the whole pot to the other 3 in the group. Is how this game works.
Exactly. And the key is, you can have all 4 people in the foursome 3-putt, except whoever's the last guy
Gets screwed.
Gets screwed. I think last time we played at Brantingham, we might have adjusted that or whatever it was so that it wasn't. You kind of split. So if 3 people 3-putt on the same hole, if it's 18, you split that up. But
yeah,
if 3 people 3-putt, that's $3 extra for that whole hole. And we're all not that good, so as you viewers know, like we could be 3-putting here and there. We can have $100 in the pot by the end of the weekend.
So it's 45 holes, right? I think it'll be $50. I think we're gonna have a good weekend of putting. I really do.
$50. See, I'm gonna say, Josh, unless you want to go.
No, you can go.
I was gonna say, I think $76 are gonna be in our snake pot.
God, this is gonna suck. This is a lot of money.
So my 18, I had 4 3-putts the last one, so I was actually just checking my recent stats. So that's probably 25% of the holes I at least 3-putt. And so you got to figure, 45 holes.
It's about $50.
About
a quarter of us are 3-putting.
About 50. Something I'd actually think would be cool is if you are the last snake the one day, you pay that out, but that total stays in the kitty.
Ooh.
Because there is something like to be said just about,
I like that.
That's still going to go up, and like if don't 3-putt on 18, don't 3-putt on the back 9, 3-putt as much as you want on the front 9. Also, don't 3-putt. I feel like we're good enough that we really shouldn't be 3-putting, and it's possible that we only get like $15 in the kitty at the end because we're really
that is impossible.
It's impossible, yeah. I mean, Coop himself might just be 15 on the first 18, but
Coop's putting's been pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. It's not we've been playing some tougher greens, if I'm being honest. I think the greens this weekend, at least until Arrow Creek, which is gonna be brutal. Oh, we haven't even talked about the courses we're playing at. Right?
Yeah. Enlighten us, because truly I have not been paying attention to our group chat because I've been working.
My flight.
So you're going to have to tell me what these courses are like.
Yeah, I booked my flight and asked you to bring me a towel. That was it.
Which, there are towels at the Airbnb.
I still want an extra towel.
No. Thursday, we are playing at Old Brockway, which is one of the older courses up in Tahoe. Super highly rated. It is a 9-hole course. So I think we're all working Thursday up at the Airbnb, and then we're going to head over to Old Brockway, which is like right on the lake. Gorgeous looking course. Super pumped. And that's going to be kind of we're going to hit the range for like an hour before and then play our 9 holes. God. That'll be our warm-up. Let you guys get used to the clubs you're going to be using because you're not shipping out your clubs, stuff like that. And then Friday.
Which means for Dylan, at least, I'll be using probably better clubs than I've ever played with in my life.
Yeah, exactly. And then Friday, we have an early afternoon tee time at the links at Squaw Valley, which is one of the nicer resorts, at least to ski at, up in Tahoe. So I'm assuming the golf course is going to be great. And then Saturday, this is the one I'm most excited about, which my uncle's helped hooking us up for. Is we're playing at Arrow Creek, and this is a course designed by Arnold Palmer. It's a members-only golf course, and it is just gorgeous looking, guys. We are going to get absolutely mauled by this course. It is going to be so brutal.
I'm going to shoot par. On at least one hole.
Dylan, if you shoot par on the front or the back 9, I will eat my shoe.
That is a deal. You heard it here first, viewers.
I'll eat Patty's
if
other
that
shoe.
happens,
Oh, I think Dylan just dropped from our Skype call. No idea if he's still talking until Oh, there he is. I heard Dylan laugh. There he is.
To our viewers at home, I'm sorry. I'm watching Monday Night Football as we do.
Oh my god!
And,
you're the worst.
Just an insane catch right now. So, you know what? I think our viewers are all sports fans. I don't think they're just golf fans. They're gonna want to know that there was a catch at the 30-yard line. This could win. This could be a game winner. Anyway,
I'm just gonna say real quick, Dill. You said it like 10 times today, and I got to address it. You keep calling our listeners viewers.
I didn't even catch that. Oh my god.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, buddy. I don't think too many people are watching the YouTube videos of just the sound waves.
All right, here's what I'll say.
The viewers at home, he has been saying that.
He has been the whole time.
I think we live in an age of
popping off
minutia, and I think when I say viewers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And let's hope one day, within the near future, and by near I mean next 3 years, we have a really good YouTube channel that we can be famous for.
I hate to nitpick, but come on, man.
All right, sorry, listeners at home. If you want to be called viewers at home or listeners at home, we'll put up a Twitter. Yeah, we're going to put up a Twitter poll.
Let us know.
Who cares?
All right, Josh, you want to take us home?
Yeah, that last minute of rambling was hilarious, but in reality, we do appreciate all of our listeners and viewers at home. So feel free to follow us on Twitter at The Wrong Fairways with an S.
At Wrong Fairways.
What did I say?
No, there's no the.
Oh, at Wrong Fairways, or YouTube, which is The Wrong Fairways. And again, ask us any questions you want. Our release schedule this week of Halloween. So does that fit Halloween?
Yeah, it works.
Patty's giving me the
insert the cricket noises here.
Yeah, but other than that, next time you'll hear from us, we'll be together in Tahoe. So have a good night or day, everybody.
Hell yeah, buddy.